I'm Jarvis. I'm a software engineer. Well, not anymore. It's like a whole thing. Walk with me. When I was 7 years old, I wanted to be an artist. I didn't really know what that meant, but I just loved drawing characters from Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, I want to do this forever. Oh, and Jordan is here too.
Hi there. No, not again. Shit.
Obviously things changed a bit over the years, but this was the first time that I learned that I like to make things. And now I make a lot of things. I get a lot of messages from people who dream of doing software engineering because it'll give them a good life, or it makes a lot of money, which is, kind of true right now, but it's not why I studied computer science. It's not why I've done anything in my life, really. I've always been a bit of an obsessive. Like, I'll set my mind to whatever I want to get good at, and I'll pour myself into it and give it my all, no matter what. On the flip side, if I'm doing something that I'm not interested in, I have horrible grit, so I've tried to harness those obsessions into productivity. I also love learning. I love being nothing at a skill or an interest and slowly but surely becoming something at it. I also like failing. Well, I hate failing, but I love feeling like the underdog and using that chip on my shoulder to help me push beyond my perceived limits. I love improving myself, but that has to come from a starting point that I'm dissatisfied with. Like, there's also a bit of a competitive angle here too, because I played Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering and chess all competitively. I guess I just liked to be able to know when I was improving. I also think I just like to win. Like, I used to be a member of an online Pokemon battling community. Nerd. I got so into competitive battling that I wrote guides on EV training and appeared on a Pokemon podcast under a pseudonym.
When a Pokemon is hatched or caught in the wild, it's got stats, it's special defense, HP, attack, special attack, speed.
We have a guest with us, that's Seth.
Yeah, I know. I could have picked any nickname and I chose Seth. I more recently got into improv comedy. I always wanted to try it after becoming obsessed with Saturday Night Live and idolizing people like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler and Andy Samberg.
You too.
Why did I do that? Why did I run up those stairs just for that shot?
Anyway, when I moved to San Francisco, I finally gave improv a shot and it was off to the races. I took every class I could, went to every show, anything I could do to get stage time. Eventually, I joined a team and performed almost weekly for about a year.
Nothing warms the cockles of my heart like two recently depressed young children.
Nothing reminds me that my heart has cockles like you.
Programming for me actually started in a very similar way. I remember being mystified by the concept of programming ever since my 7th grade technology class. The purpose of the class was to teach us how to use Macs, which were a pretty exotic thing back in 2005. We also learned how to make websites with the then Macromedia suite of tools like Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and Flash. I was totally enthralled by what those tools allowed me to do. Make websites, make videos, make forum signatures.
Wait, is that real?
It's, unfortunately, yes. Yes, that is a real thing that I did. One thing I really loved about this class was making Flash videos and also games using this programming language called ActionScript. I actually didn't learn to code in the 7th grade. I got all of my code from one of my classmates named Jerry. He was amazing at programming. I wonder what he's up to now. He's a zoologist. 7th grade, wasn't super into programming, but my junior year of high school, that's a different story. You see, I was really into podcasting. All right, bear with me on this one. So about 12 years ago, in the year 2006, I started listening to podcasts, and the first one I found was about Dragon Ball Z. There was Daisen Shu EX, the podcast. I fell in love with it. I even submitted poetry to it. Weirdly.
Magic Jarvis said, Broly, oh Broly, we enjoy your craziness and baby penis.
In the sidebar on their site, they linked to their favorite shows, and one of them was a show called Geek Nights. Essentially, it was these two recent college grads working tech jobs in New York City. I ended up listening to an episode of theirs on computer majors, and I learned about computer science for the first time.
Tonight we explain the differences between all of those computer majors.
So now I'm like, I need to learn how to program, but I don't know where to start. And I was also like, I need to start a podcast. So I did with my friend Russell.
Hello all, and welcome to the very first and pilot episode of The Random Podcast with me, your host, Jarvis the Amazing.
Not my proudest work, but my new podcast is much better, so check out Sad Boyz. So after that whole podcast thing, my friend Russell actually showed me that you could write programs on the TI-84 calculators that we all had to buy for school. Actually, you know what? Hold on. This is it. Huh, it still turns on. Cool, let's see if it has any of my old programs on it. Oh, this one's just called Run This. Let's see what it does. Oh. Anyway, I learned the basics of programming on that thing, and I was addicted. I applied to college that year and decided I was going to study computer science. The moral of the story is, the interests you have now won't take you where you expect them to. I didn't expect for Jerry, the middle school programming whiz, to become a zoologist, just like you probably didn't expect me to tell a story about how Dragon Ball Z got me into software engineering. But such is the nature of our lived experience, you know? As new interests come and go, they're never really gone, because they led you to where you are today. When you take a step forward on a new path, you never know where you'll end up. That's kind of the beauty of life, you know? In more ways than one, that podcast and that anime are how I ended up here, you know? As I got more experience as a software engineer in San Francisco, I learned about the parts of making software that aren't just writing code. Humanity's greatest achievements were built by teams, not individuals, and it is not obvious the best way for groups of people to work together. In the past few years, I've observed how high-performing teams were also the teams where the members were the happiest, and how people don't leave companies, they leave managers most of the time. I've been able to take analogs from my own life, like the team dynamics that I learned about in improv, or the ability to coach someone and help them grow that I first experienced as a teaching assistant in college, and again as a mentor to an intern when I was already in industry. Which brings me to the title of this video. God, I'm so tired. Oh my God. Oh. So I'm not a software engineer anymore. No, I didn't quit my company. I'm an engineering manager now. I won't be talking about that much here as that story is still in progress. All you need to know is that I'm eager, excited, and grateful to have had the opportunities that I've had so far in my career. Technically, writing code isn't in my job description anymore, but it's still very related, so I'll probably still do it a little bit. I mean, at least personally. Gotta keep my skills fresh, you know? This change actually doesn't feel as big and dramatic to me as it might seem externally, but you'll have to trust me on that one. As for the content on this channel, well, it's all gone. No, just kidding. It's not gonna change very much. I just wanted to let y'all know where I'm at. So, that's that. Like and subscribe. I'm going to bed. See you next time.